I have been told before that I can be intimidating.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like, I don't understand that. So like when a guy says, "Oh yeah, I was trying to talk to you, but like you're hella intimidating," like what's that mean?
It means you have a lot of masculine energy.
It's alpha energy. First of all, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Alpha. Alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, so
AKA masculine.
so in regards to that, I mean, okay, that makes sense.
So like I explained it before, you know, men and women, we what we attracted to are different. So for women, you guys are attracted to masculine energy from a man. So masculine energy would be um, confidence, ambition, assertiveness, strength. Those are the things that you guys look at. And you guys explained it also. You know, that's what you guys like. You guys growth, guys, that's ambition. You guys both mentioned it before. So that's what you guys are attracted to. So for us, for men, we are attracted to feminine energy, which is a woman's sexuality. You know, kindness, compatibility, love, nurture, care, beauty, fertility, youth. So those are things that we're attracted to. So for us, for you guys, I know you because you're an entrepreneur. Because of the career path that you want to be an entrepreneur, have your own business, you have to be master. Like you have to have those traits of ambitious and strength in you
Agreed.
to be successful. And that's cool. That's fine. But just in the dynamics of a relationship, those traits and those things that you carry within yourself, that's not what men are naturally attracted to when they do meet you. So when they meet you, when we feel masculine energy from you from those traits, it's a turn off for men. It's not intimidation, it's a turn off for men. The same thing for you guys. If you guys met a man that wasn't masculine, he was very passive, very unconfident, indecisive, very uh, uh, too feminine, then you will, same thing for you guys. You guys are not, we won't be attracted to those men. You guys want a guy to be, you prefer your man to be confident, ambitious. So it's not about intimidation. We're not intimidated by you. It's just it's not sexually attractive to us when a woman has masculine energy. And the same thing for you guys. It's not sexually attractive for a guy if a guy has feminine energy. You want your guy to be that leader, that ambition, to be confident. So that's something I do notice a lot of women today is they do say that, oh, he can't handle me, or you guys are intimidated. I was like, no, I'm not intimidated. I'm not intimidated by you. It's just the energy that you're producing and you're giving out is not what I'm looking for based on my masculine energy. Yeah,
Got it.
in order for a relationship to work, it has to be like an equal balance of masculine and feminine. So yeah,
Oh, I mean, okay, so I hear that, but I guess I also just kind of feel like, I mean, in terms of like, for example, like with myself, like masculine alpha energy, yes, but like I'm also very capable of like being that soft and feminine. So like I don't. So is there for
no,
like guys?
for you, the only way you can bring out your feminine energy, you need to be a guy that's more dominant than you. So when you meet a guy that's more dominant from you, he's more masculine, he's more alpha than you. Because women are naturally, your guys were able to naturally submit to a guy that's more dominant than you. And when I say dominant, I don't say in an unhealthy way, toxic way. We're just trying to
No,
control you.
100%.
I
I know,
say
I hear you.
I say in a way that he just comes to let you know I'm the man in your life, and this is me, and and he just bring that dominant masculine energy. So for a lot of independent women, but the problem with that masculine man is the more masculine the man is, the more he craves feminine energy. So the type of guy the guy that you're willing to submit to because you're very alpha already, that guy is not attracted to your energy. He's attracted to the more feminine women because
No, and one, and I agree to that because I think that for me too, like that's very much a thing where in like I naturally like, and I think that's like also a cultural thing too, right? Where like in a relationship, I do have that expectation that my significant other is dominant. I'm very much that person of like in a relationship, I am the caretaker. I am like I secure the home friend. Like that's who I am. Like I think I emulate my mother's energy 500%. But like again, like I said, at the same time, like I was raised to be strong and independent, like when need to be, but then also like to know when to be submissive and to be
yeah.
soft. And so yeah, so that makes sense then why that would have been
Have,
said to me.
have you ever? I don't know if you guys seen this, but uh, you ever seen women that when they always they always date the guys that treat them bad, but then with the guys that treat them good, they don't give them time of day. You've seen that? Have you ever seen that?
Seen it.
A lot of girls will stay with the bad guys, but they won't date the guys that want to treat them right. But they're attracted to the bad guys. The reason why, well, even though that those guys that want to treat them right, they don't give them no time of day, but they'll go with the guy that's like that's not that's faithful, cheating on them. And the reason why girls go for those bad guys because they have masculine energy. So even though they may be mistreated or not be toxic, but because you as women are naturally attracted to guys with ambition, with confidence, that's why a lot of women will stay with a guy that he may be be unfaithful, he maybe won't treat her as bad, but he just did like I said, you're feminine, so you guys are sexually attracted to those guys. And I think I heard Lotte say like, don't you like it when a guy doesn't always agree to everything you do, like he checks you, but not like do you like a guy to just agree with everything, or do you like a guy to be like, hey, if he checks you?
No, I don't agree. Yeah, like I want someone that's able to check me because I'm very stubborn, and so if they're able to check me, I'm like, okay.
Exactly. So yeah. So but the thing is, the only thing I would say to you both, you guys, that guy that would check you, he doesn't want to deal with that. He'd rather go with a girl that's more feminine and just more compatible and more agreeable. So
you're saying that men prefer women who are passive and don't mind being put in the corner?
No, we just prefer men or women. We don't mind if you speak up. We don't mind if you voice your opinion, and we have like reciprocated conversations, right? Disagreements is the women that always always causing issues. Like it's always complex. If that makes sense. So I've seen a lot of times when a woman's very masculine, we're always fighting all the time. That's what happens. Like there's always disagreements, there's always fights. There's like everybody's trying to push, figure out what it is. But it's just much easier to be with somebody that we can talk things out and that she can just agrees or she voices her opinion, but it's not a lot of conflict or argument, or you're too argumentative or too difficult. If that makes sense.
So okay, no, it makes total sense. So then I guess my segue question into that is going to be, you say too argumentative and too difficult. Are you saying that women are the only ones that are argumentative and disagree often?
No,
Okay.
no, men do that too. But
yeah, he's just speaking on the point of when men are interacting with women.
Yeah, so
no, and I'm just general, and I'm asking, I guess, to understand too, because I think for me and taking the opportunity, because you guys are, guys, and being able to ask these questions, like, are you, like, do you see yourself being passive to your significant other? Like, is there a point where, like, so if you say that you guys are bickering and things are hard and, whatever the case may be, at that point, whose responsibility is it to draw back and step out of the situation and be like, okay, we're not in a good space, so do we fix it, or how does that work?
No, this is what I would say. Is like, no, there's nothing wrong with arguments. That's natural in every relationship. Like, we're always going to argue.
Right.
The thing I would say is when a woman oversteps her role and tries to be the man in the relationship and makes me feel like, don't make me feel like the man. So if she, like, I don't care if we just, I want my woman's input. Like, I want her to talk to me. I want her to, if I'm making a bad decision, I want her input, because we can, two heads are better than one, right? So, but she oversteps her boundary. Like, that's, it makes me feel like I'm not a man. You know what I'm saying? That's when the issue is, because I'm not going to tolerate you making me like I'm the man in the relationship, and don't question my masculinity. Don't question my manhood. Don't make me feel like you question my manhood. That's what I would say. So it's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree. Go ahead, Soli.
You could look at the relationships as like how I have to look at the bands I work with. Everybody has their instrument they play. We all understand what role we play, and it's a mutual understanding, mutual respect towards each other. We know if we don't do our part, we're not going to be successful.
I'll give you a perfect example. Like, so say if I'm talking about if you're bickering with the girl, and this is something I always hear a lot of women who say to their partner, and that this demasculates them. They're like, man, they'll be like, oh, you ain't shit as a man. They'll say some shit like that. You ain't, just like, you ain't shit. You can't do I should be with another man, or you can't handle your response. Like when you start questioning his role and his manhood, that's when you're overstepping your boundary, and that's when that bickering. That's why we don't want to deal with that.
Oh, and you 500% shouldn't want to be in that kind of situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
anytime
Yeah.
the defamation of character is present in a relationship, whether it's
Exactly.
romantic or platonic, you shouldn't ever entertain that energy. So I 500% agree to that. I mean,
Yes, and that's one thing I do notice. Like, it's just the women who are too a lot of masculine women would question if the guy's not masculine enough, is not dominant enough. They would question his manhood because they're just masculine like that. So so they have to be able. So if you go dealing with a masculine woman, you have to be dominant in her. If you're not dominant, she's just gonna dominate you, and she's gonna make you feel less than a man. And that's why a lot of men are not attracted to that type of woman. But then but the guy that is dominant, he knows that too. And he knows he can dominate her, but why go to that? But why go to that complexity? Why go into that situation where it's just much better? You just go with the girl that you don't have to deal with that.
Okay, no, so I hear it and I understand it. I guess my next question would be then, no, so what let me make sure I'm receiving this correctly. So what I'm receiving is that for you in a relationship, that your dominance is like a priority, right? Then that's kind of what determines whether.
Yeah, for me, like for men, as long as they feel like the man in the relationship, like then they're good. They're good with you.
Do you think that that's just men in general, or are you speaking in terms of like men in our cultures?
Men in general.
And do you think that, would you say that that's most men that expect, I mean, and I guess for me, my thing is that if I have a man that is going to base his manhood and his masculinity and his dominance on the words I say, I have a problem with that, because then that tells me he's not secure in his own masculinity, dominance, and dominant energy, and his ability to be the man of the house. Because I'm very much a woman where in a relationship, in a marriage, I do expect a man of the house. I do expect my husband to be the man of the house. And there will be altercations and indifferences where things are said on both ends, and I say this from a place of I've been that girl, not to say that you ain't shit, but like I've been not nice and I've taken jabs, and equally jabs have been taken at me.
Yeah.
But that person was not at all like more than anything, their ego was bruised. So I guess for me, do you think that your dominant energy is correlated to your ego? Or do you is that and again, just trying to understand, I don't.
So if a guy that's very masculine and he's very healthy, not toxic, right? He wants to be the leader in the relationship. He wants to lead you, right? So he's gonna ask for your advice. He's gonna ask for your input. But ultimately, you guys will come together. But ultimately, you guys will figure out what's the right decision to make. But naturally, he's gonna be the one that to be a leader. Just like every company has a CEO, right? Everybody has ideas, but at the end of the day, out of all the ideas, somebody has to make a decision. So, for the masculine man, he's gonna talk to you, and hey, what should we do? And you guys have your input, and then he's gonna make the decision. And for a lot of women, when they meet a masculine guy, they're okay with their man. They trust their man to make the decision for them, right? Because that's what. So, but he's gonna listen to you, and you guys will talk it out, and then okay, but you know what? We hear both sides, but this is what we should do, and then we go with it, right? You guys all worked with great leaders before, right? Yeah, exactly. So when you work with a great leader, like I've had some great mentors in my life. There were great leaders in my life. I never overstepped to make them overstep my boundary into their role, if that makes sense. So I always listen to it. If I'm my input, I will give them my input, but I will never question their leadership. So I will question what the plan or what we were discussing on that day. I won't say you're not the right leader for this company. I won't overstep that. And for a lot of women, is like they will overstep that boundary of you're not the right man, or you're not the best man for me. You're not the best man for this family. You're not doing a good job as a man. And for a lot of, like I said, a lot of men, they just don't want to be walked over. Like you naturally want to lead your woman. And for a lot of women, they prefer their man to be in that role to lead them.